remember that time?
When you fell in love with CSS.
Do you remember the first feature you were so excited about?
Well, like Marquette, which was very popular some time ago. And if you don't remember it on websites, probably you're very young.
And do you remember the web design trends that inspired you back in the days?
Yeah, so it's very tough to get back to those feelings and those days. And if your long-term marriage with front-end development is in crisis, and if your love for CSS has burned out, it's time to do something about it. And we're the Awesomes. I'm Aga.
And I'm Marta.
As a short intro, I'm a designer and coder.
And I'm a front-end developer. And we will find at the Awesomes, which is an organization which teaches people how to create awesome things on the web. And also we do it all not for profit and as a side project after work.
Yeah, just like Kevin said, we're based in Poland, in Warsaw. And if you have any comments or questions, we'd be more than happy to read all of them. For instance, on our Twitter, you can see our Twitter handle. So we have to make a small disclaimer right now. You might be disappointed, but
there will be no code and no live coding sessions, unfortunately.
Yeah, we won't get into any technical details. We won't show you any brand new CSS framework or coding techniques.
And no flashy CSS effects, but rather than that, we will tell you true stories about people that we have met during the last 2 years.
So there is the time in your career when you realize that coding is cool, but you need to more interact with people on different ground than your daily job. So this is what happened for us some time ago, and we were lucky because it's happened at the same time. So what you can see right now is our chat on Twitter, and we are trying to arrange a meeting and do something together for the community. So this was the idea, let's do something.
And as you said, it all started 2 years ago in December 2015.
Yes, and the idea was rather humble. We didn't have any fixed plan. Everything went very spontaneously. So we were really overwhelmed with what happened, that this one meeting, 2-hour meeting, actually initiated something very big, and it engaged
more than 3,000 applicants. And 64 awesome participants who were learning the basic of HTML and CSS, and among them were people from various professions like philosophers, architects, designers, photographers, etc., etc.
Yes, it's good to mention that 7 people out of them actually became junior front-end developers, and it's worth adding that we weren't aiming at encouraging people to change their profession. What we wanted to do is to show that coding can be cool, no matter what you do daily. It can be a very useful tool, so we're extremely proud of them.
And also it included 80 hours of coding, 11 mentors who helped us, and numerous hours of preparations, preparing materials, searching for the venue, and planning all the smallest details.
And you might be wondering right now why we're talking about it, why we're showing these numbers, because you're on a CSS conference, you would like to see some code. But we bet that probably some of you have ever thought that it would be good to do something for the community, do a side project, do something what you love, but you can't do at work because you're doing other things. So we hope that you'll feel inspired, and if you already run your community or run type of side project or activity, we'll have some useful tips and tricks, some practicalities which you can apply to make your community even bigger.
So it all started, and at the very beginning we didn't have any fixed plan. We just felt that there is a lack of such initiatives connected with HTML and CSS in our neighborhood. So we decided to do something about it and start.
Yes, and we were observing different initiatives connected with front-end development, coding, Ruby on Rails, and we saw that they organized very long workshops during weekends, and we decided to do something different. We decided to divide our whole course into smaller and regular meetings, so we were meeting in the afternoon after our regular job.
And we care about good design, so we prepared our own layouts for our participants. And the 3 examples are we used on our workshops, and our participants were voting which one they prefer to call by themselves.
So yeah, it helps to engage people if you give them the decision to make.
As you probably know, that 2 hardest things in web development is cache and validation and naming things. So we also have our problem to come up with some catchy name for our initiative. And as you can see, most of them were rather cheesy.
Yeah, my favorite one is Fantastic. But yeah, in the end, we decided to pick word awesome because it's awesome, and it's connected with World Wide Web because it has 3 W's, and because we wanted to feel like a big awesome family, we finally picked the awesomes, and our tagline is awesome people, just like us, who do awesome things on the web.
And also there are lots of communities that encourages women to join the tech community, and we decided that we will rather be open for everyone, for people from different walks of life, different experiences, different professions.
Yes. And we really wanted to bring new people into our industry. So we really wanted to encourage beginners. One of our goals was to break the nerd stereotype. We really wanted to show that we were like cheerful people. And of course, we love spending time in front of computer screen. But this is not the only hobby we have.
And it all started, and we set up our own web page and also wanted to look professional, so it's required to have our own Facebook fan page, and we created an event and was waiting if anyone would be interested in learning coding and HTML and CSS basics, but rather we've been overwhelmed about how many applications we received, and do you imagine there were more than 1,800 of them.
Yes, it was a really big number, and we had to read all of them. And we had to select 20 final participants. It was extremely tough because people were very hardworking, ambitious, talented, but the decision was made.
And it consisted of 8 classes divided of 2 hours. And yeah, this is our program.
Yeah, we tried to divide our program into like edible chunks, not to make our participants feel overwhelmed by the program. So we started with the very beginnings, as you can see, and started to getting more advanced things. And people really love building layouts. And first we taught them how to use floats, and later showed how the grid works to show the totally different approach.
And we also engage friends from our industry as mentors, and they were really grateful for them, and they really helped us with mentoring and tracking progress of our participants. And even if you're an expert in the industry, you can see that teaching others is a really tough nut to crack. And we have some lessons learned. For example, we unintentionally started to use technical jargon, and for example, for people from outside our tech bubble, Slack is just a mysterious word.
Yes, and many people were asking so how they should actually approach learning HTML, CSS. Should it be approached just like foreign languages, or maybe should they learn all HTML tags by heart? So at the time we realized it's so easy to forget about your own beginnings when you were struggling with your first line of code. So we were more aware what types of words we should use, what teaching methods we should introduce to our course to make the learning process much more easier in these.
And it doesn't matter how much time do you spend polishing your slides and giving the lecture. The most important part of the teaching process is the hands-on experience. And what you can see is the layout coded totally from scratch by one of our participants from the first edition, Anya. And we believe that this experience and learning from practical examples is more important than some example taken completely out of context. And sorry, W3 schools.
Yes, we also paid a little attention that people could practice at home. We prepared a tutorial, which is available for free for everyone. Unfortunately, it's in Polish, so if you'd like to contribute right now, feel free to come to us. We'll be more than happy to have someone who can help us to translate it to English.
There are some spooky creatures in CSS and everyone is afraid of, and for our participants, surprise, surprise, it appeared to be positioning and specificity.
Yes, and specificity, sometimes it's even hard for us, for seasoned developers, so there wasn't a surprise that that participants had some problems at the very beginning to grasp the general concept, how it works.
And we believe that asking questions is a crucial part of the learning process, so there are no stupid questions. And we wanted our participants to feel as comfortable as it's possible. And when we were seeing that some of them is struggling alone with some hard code problem, we tried to approach them, we or our mentors, to help them. And we also tried to create a friendly, family-like atmosphere, so we divided them into smaller subgroups.
Yes, and of course we had a problem with naming them again. We needed 5 groups, so the first idea was, oh, maybe we could use the web browser's names, but who would like to join the Internet Explorer group? Well, probably not so many people. So we decided to change the concept, and we picked the Pantone color names for the year. It was 2016, and it gave the artistic vibe to our workshops, and people were really identifying themselves with the colors. So girls were in rose quartz, and they were very happy. There was David, who you can see in the middle. He was in Serenity group, so it was a lot of fun.
And there's some friendships started among our participants, so it was really worth to create it, to try to act like big family, and there were some collaborations between people from different professions, so it became really interesting to see them also after the workshops.
I guess that even some ideas for startups were initiated, so we're like a startup hub as well. And people love competition, so this is why we wanted to incorporate the element into our workshops as well. And after each of the classes, we prepared a quiz on the Kahoot platform. If you don't know it, you should check it out because it's awesome. And it's very beneficial because of 2 reasons. The first one is that people were revising the material, so they were getting more and more experienced. And the second one is just more engaging and fun. And what you can see right now on the video, if you can see this, if not, I'm so sorry. But it's our meetup in Warsaw where people were playing the quiz, and it was so exciting, as you can see.
And our success was to bring more designers for our end. Our focus on aesthetics really paid off, and the code appears to be a really good new tool to use for designers and help them communicate more efficiently with developers.
Yes, and designers started to like us, which was a very nice feeling. And thanks to that, we are inviting to many events for designers mainly. So this is the workshops we gave during Element Talks. This is one of the biggest conferences in Poland for designers, gathering more than 1,500 designers. We were on different conferences talking about the collaboration between developers and designers. We did another workshops for artists, and we're mentioning this not to boast of, but to give you the sense that sometimes it's really good to step out of your comfort zone and explore other fields, other areas, other environments, and it's extremely inspiring. And it has definitely affected the way we work and the way we communicate with people.
And what's also an important part for us was but because the devil is in the details, we also create our branding, and it was really attractive to people. They were hunting for our gadgets on our events, on our meetups. It was really cool, and we managed to produce, for example,
flashy pins.
And the fake tattoos. It was really a good integration game when people were
Some people had a tag on their neck. Colorful stickers, and we have them with us. So if you're not shy, please come after the lunch break.
Yeah, welcome. and also the awesome socks. And now watch out, because we do have one pair of them with us.
Yes, and you can become happy owners just like Una Kravitz. So,
What?
Marta, good luck.
Oh, sorry.
You don't seem to be excited. Yeah. Sorry, you can give it to your friend, which is a girl out there, or
You don't like them.
yeah. Unfortunately, it's female size, so yeah, we're running out of bigger sizes. Yeah.
And now we would like to focus on an important topic which became kind of a buzzword in our industry. And actually, we believe that actions have more effect than words. And in fact, we haven't mentioned the diversity word explicitly, not any once, when we were promoting our event to people. And what's interesting, about 75% of our community are women.
Yes, and we're of course observing what's happening in the industry, what's happening on Twitter. There are heated debates, but if you're just open, if you respect other people, if you're kind, the diverse community should emerge itself. So it shouldn't be something that you push yourself very hard. It should be natural, in our opinion, and it happened for us.
And the coolest thing that happened when we were running the workshops, that apart from just the workshops, we created something bigger, which is a community. And it was really awesome to see that from an inconspicuous idea, it turned out something really huge.
Yes, but you need to be aware that if you do something publicly, that your initiative will be exposed for critic and not so friendly comments. So you have to deal with it, because otherwise your enthusiasm might be dampened and it might cut your wings. So some comments were like a broken record.
CSS is not a programming language,
No, yeah.
but does it really matter if it is? And some people were talking about that 16 hours for learning just such easy things like HTML and CSS is insanely long.
Yeah, but what is funny, on the opposite, there were some people who thought that, well, yeah, like when you meet like 8 times for 2 hours, 16 hours, it's insanely short to write a good quality website. So there were some opposite opinions.
And also the Women in Tech thing appeared, and some people thought that our initiative is created mostly for women because we are pink and cheerful on social media, but in fact it wasn't true, because we were open for everyone.
Yes, and you can imagine that after all these comments and after a whole year when we were organizing workshops, meetups, after our work as an additional project, we're extremely exhausting. But there is actually one thing that can cheer you up, and it's the greatest reward for all your efforts, and these are success stories from our participants.
Yeah, as mentioned, some of them now were proudly wearing a badge of junior web developers. Some of them are successful designers communicating with developers. Some of them created really awesome side projects. And now you can hear them speaking by themselves.
This is the audio time praying right now. It doesn't work. Come on. Can we try again? If it no.
Yeah, good
Spoiler.
Yes,
Yeah,
spoiler.
we're now rooting with Dennis, who had the audio problem as well. Is there a chance, or should we skip it? Once again, sorry.
It worked before, so...
Yeah, it worked.
Now you can see Anya's face.
Yeah. She coded plenty, the website you
yeah,
seen before.
this is her website. She's a designer.
Yeah, she actually graduated from architecture.
Yeah, architecture.
So, okay, let's try.
So she, as a designer, also now codes her design by herself.
No, it should be okay. Oops, sorry.
Picture says word.
Yeah, pictures, yeah. So, should we try to paraphrase what's happening in the video, or still having the chance to make this work? It worked before, so maybe. Okay, let's try again. No. Why? We were editing till late night yesterday. It's worth to do it. Please, please. Okay. Okay, so let's skip it. So we can tell. Did it start? No. So girls were talking what they love in CSS and what they hate. And for instance, Ada, she said that she loves when you can create spectacular things, not knowing a lot about CSS. But, and here's the moment, yeah, she's talking about it. Spectacular websites with CSS. But, oh no, this is not the moment. Whatever. Yeah, that the spectacular things can be at least spectacular for you because the websites can be very ugly sometimes, especially when you started how to code. Alina hates naming things in CSS, but instead she thinks that it's a very useful tool for communicating with developers because she's a designer. We have Magda, and she said that she loves Flexbox, but at the same time, she hates that it doesn't work everywhere. And yeah, Anya said that she's very worried sometimes that CSS doesn't work with her, and she doesn't know why. So yeah. And for girls, mostly coding, it's a really great new experience, something that opened their eyes and show a new way in their profession. So it was very valuable for them to learn how to code.
So yeah, as you see, the failures happen, and also failures happen among our participants. It happens some unrequited love towards CSS. Life is not as rosy as it's painted.
Yeah, not as rosy as our badges, unfortunately, in socks. Yes, so some people abandoned coding and abandoned their classes, and it was a very hard feeling for us because we took it very personal. But you know, you need to somehow accept the fact and come to terms with that. Some people are not just so keen on coding just like we are, and maybe they didn't have time or just didn't enjoy coding at all.
Yeah, and also we love meeting with participants, with people from our community, not in front of computers, and not have just nerd chats about technology, but also...
Yeah, we have great fun during our meetups. It's so-called reunions, when we invite people from former editions of the workshops and our friends, and we just enjoy talking together.
And we also love animals, and they are also invited to our workshops. And Freddy started learning Flexbox with us, but we don't know if he's already grasped the idea.
I guess he abandoned this in the favor for CSS Grid because he thought that these are like contradictory ideas.
CSS is not for dogs,
yeah,
maybe better for cats.
Yeah.
You should check it.
Yeah, so we're here at CSSConf Budapest, and CSSConf events in general are very open, and lots of people come from different parts of the world. So we speak different languages, we eat different food during our lunchtime, we have different hobbies, but there is one thing that we have in common, and this is the love for CSS.
And we're like a big CSS family. And we're very grateful that we had an opportunity to share our story with you here on CSSConf Budapest. So if you have ever feel burnt out at your work,
or you feel that you need to do something different in your daily job, do something as a child project, or maybe you want to contribute to your local community.
And if you have ever felt lonely in front of your computer screen, this is the high time to do something about it and
contribute.
You can do it just like us, for example, founding the workshops in your local area.
Yeah, or creating local meetups.
Setting up a YouTube channel with tutorials.
Or give a talk, and you don't need to be an expert, just like us here today.
And please remember that time when you fell in love with CSS, and maybe you'll feel the butterflies in your stomach again.
Thanks a lot for listening.
Thanks.